This is J. Randall Wilkerson, editor at Wilkerson and Hughes Publishing. We have a large number of architectural titles, and one of our series are the house design competitions. This is book 3, the Natco Bungalow for $4,000. It was a house design competition in Brick Builder magazine in 1913. There are 52 drawings of the best designs selected by the jury. We will go through them fairly quickly so you can see an overview of what the contents are. This competition was conducted and offered to the very best architects in the country. The prize awards were extremely high, in today's dollars, often $60,000 for first prize. The house, of course, today cannot be built for $4,000. It's made of a hollow clay tile, somewhat like a brick, in which they had a surface that would allow stucco application on the inside and the outside. The house design competitions are fairly unknown to most of the architectural world because these were published in paper-bound books after the jury made a decision, and the books crumbled away on library shelves, what few were printed, so that very few are left. In many cases, there are only 2 or 3 copies available worldwide. The entry required a pen and ink drawing, a dip pen, India ink, on a Bristol board of about 20 or 22 inches by 30 inches. So the floor plans, perspective, any elevations, site plans were all included on a single sheet. These pen and ink drawings are razor sharp because we've developed a computer process. It's part computer, part manual, in which we restore the line sharpness. The density is very high. It's equal to a pen and ink drawing because we search far and wide to find a printer capable of rendering the same density as pen and ink drawings. The house plan on the left, it was submitted by Lloyd Wright Brothers of San Diego, California. This is somewhat of a disguise because if you see where my finger's pointing, there's a square with a solid square in the middle. That's the graphic signature of the personal signature of Frank Lloyd Wright. And Lloyd, of course, Frank Lloyd Wright, they just dropped the Frank on the beginning of his entry. The reason why he was probably concealing his name is at the time he'd run off with a client's wife, and so abandoning his family left him completely ostracized in the architectural community. You can see this is a low single-story cruciform prairie, typical of the date range for Frank Lloyd Wright, yet this is small enough to allow 3 bedrooms and $4,000 building cost. You can see also the other typical Chicago-style windows, the double stylobite at the base of the house. Yes, Frank Lloyd Wright entered many of these competitions in order to further his practice at a time when it was in a decline. But keep in mind, great architects of all stature entered these competitions. They're small size houses. We're talking probably around houses of 1,000 to 1,300 square feet. During the time of this period, houses were priced by the cubic foot, so that's why the charts on each entry will list the cubic foot of each room or each section of the house. These pen and ink drawings represent some of the very best work ever done. Even Spanish styles, French, English, thatched roof, eyebrow dormers, eyebrow entrances, works that you would consider a classic home worth restoring today, and yet here are the plans. They're simplified, and of course they would have to be elaborated by a local architect or drafting designer, yet these designs are very serviceable today. As you notice, there's no attached garage. Well, cars were not that popular among the classes that could afford a smaller home of this type. These final pages, of course, were advertising entries that Natco, or the National Fireproofing Company, included with the book, as well as showing houses that had been completed in photographs and how they were attractive. Much less expensive to build than solid limestone or solid brick of the day. And because they were hollow tile, they had some insulation factor by the air cavities inside the hollow tile. And that concludes this book, book number 3 of our house design competition series of 19 books. It's $9.95, available from Amazon.com as well as eBay. ISBN code 978-1926-517-667. Thank you for watching.